I am Delia Codes, and this is my stream. So what I'm building is I'm building my first Node.js application from scratch. You've gone through a lot of setup with me and a lot building out the front end. And now we're at building out our models, kind of the meat of the thing. So I will be using, I'm a student over at Thinkful, and this is where I will be, how do we put it? I'll be creating the models that I need for the application, as well as testing them, that sort of thing. And yeah, so I've been kind of waiting for the restream chat. Let me share my screen, and you can kind of see. I've been waiting for this thing to install, but it seems to not be installing. So I'm kind of like, okay, so I've been kind of making sure that I know a little bit of what I'm doing, so that I remember. It's been a little bit since I have built this. Okay, so since last time, what have we done? Let's look at my package JSON. I installed Babel. I changed around my scripts, and I merged from a branch into master. Right, where's my package JSON? Here it is. Okay, as you can see, my scripts are a lot different now. I have test, I have dev server, I have clean, I have build, I have start, I have pre-start. Anyway, all of this being said, it's all to kind of make it a little bit easier for me to build and configure and all of that. So now we're at the point. So I've got API.js, app.js, client.js, config, and models. Models and config don't have anything in it. I think config is something that I'm going to need. I'm also going to reference some previous projects, most likely, so that I have an idea of what I'm looking at and what I'm doing. However, I think I'm going to quit this. If I can. I don't know if I can. Close window. Okay. I mean, it's at 100%. I don't understand what it's doing. So we're going to say task manager. And then okay, and let's see if Restream Chat still needs an update. No. Even though the update hung, it seems to be fine, I think. All right. So now that we've done some admin, let's kind of get started. Okay. So first, let me. So in our models and in our config. Okay, so let's also review our server. Because I'm not sure where we actually... So our server is really simple right now. It's app listen port, and then console server running on port. And I put in the Mongoose here because we'll use MongoDB and Mongoose. And then our API is a lot less simple. Right now it's a fake database and an add meals, function, that sort of thing, and we export both of those. Our client is probably the one you're most familiar with. It's our state, and adding things to state. So it's our client-side stuff. And then there is app. Okay, so app is, let's change that to LF. App is app.use, app.get, that sort of thing. And if we do our tests, we can kind of see that this is our first passing test. So I need to figure out two things. I need to figure out what models are in regards to this, and make sure that I can kind of talk about it a little bit more. And then I need to figure out, okay, where is my thing? It's over here. So MongoDB is, I think, set up. I haven't created a data schema, but I did create that. So we're going to consider that sort of done. And now all I need to do is models for your DB. And then set up just for models testing, and then endpoint for adding me a meal, and then we're going to do that. So what I kind of want to do is I want to look at what we've built, what I've built in the past, and I want to get a better sense of looking at what a model is. So this isn't a route yet. So it looks like I'm just kind of reading this, and this is what this looks like. Using a database. Okay, great. Local library model. Ooh. Mongoose primer, blah, blah, blah. Creating a model. Okay. I feel like the biggest thing that I have trouble, that I do not entirely understand, is like, what is a model, express, and node? And what I might do is, what I might look at is a velocity. Because I was reading about how to do it, but like I feel like that, like, I don't understand what the essence of a models is. And so if this search in like the next 5 minutes doesn't necessarily turn it anything, I think I'm going to look at some of my previous code and see if I can analyze that. So we're just going to say models, because I don't understand what the structure of it is. Okay, that's Mongoose. And I kind of don't understand what this is doing. Okay, well, let's look at that. Okay. So it looks like models are your database schema. And that seems to be pretty fair. Okay. Ooh, I like this, best practices for express app structure. Okay. Oh, models represent data, implements business logic, and handles storage. Okay. So this is why, what this is here. So this is why MongoDB is here, because it's like MongoDB and then models for your DB. Okay. I found a typo. I wonder if there's a way to comment. Okay, so let's go with models. Okay. All right, var db equals required db blah blah. Okay. Exports.create, and then okay. So in other words, models are about your. Okay, so models are about your data structure, like fetching and fetching and sending. Okay. So with that context in mind, let's use this seemingly pretty cool thing. Um, okay, so let's think about the data that we need. Okay, this is actually really, really good. Okay, so we've done MongoDB. Okay, that's interesting. We haven't done this part. Because okay, so if you look at my package structure here, so it looks like I can package structure is here. It looks like I have Mongoose, but I don't have MongoDB installed. So it looks like I need to create a MongoDB database in the cloud somewhere. So looking at MLab, which is kind of my chosen set of things. Okay. So it looks like this is my thing. This is my URL. Okay, that works. So following from this, they have you mongoose.connect. That's actually pretty decent. I kind of feel like I should store that in a .env though, or .environment. So let's move a new tab, and look up .environment. Okay, let's look up. I have it installed, but let's see if I can create a environmental variable. All right, send grid. Okay, great. Okay, so it looks like what we can do is we can... Okay, so let's do this. Let's do this, and then let's create another file. Okay, create a .env file. Okay, and then what we need to do is we need to say const da 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 da. All right, what are we calling this? DB address equals blank. I'm a little confused about this config thing, but okay, so we'll say DB address is this, and then we'll export it here. Okay, so they import DB from somewhere else. Okay, so as early as possible in your application, require and config dot. Okay, so let's look at something else because I don't entirely understand what this is. Okay. All right, let's add the following line and we'll copy and paste it because, you know, we can. Okay. Okay. All right, so we switched .env to regular dependencies and not dev dependencies. Okay, so let's change this around. Actually, let's make sure that we've got it saved. That looks the way it should. Okay. We're gonna say change dot env to be, how do we put this? To be dependency. Dency. All right, let's commit that. And then, okay. Add it to my git ignore. Because I was kind of wondering about that. .env is there. Okay, so it looks like okay, that's actually a lot more simple. I don't understand why they had to make this really super complicated. Okay, so okay, let's create a thing. Okay, so let's go to our .env. And we're gonna say secret db address equals blah blah blah. Okay, and then let's see here. Oh, okay. So, what we can do, let's save that. And what we will do is I will go ahead and fill this in later. And then we'll figure out what that looks like. And let's make sure that looks good. Let's make sure that we are that we're streaming okay. And let's look at this one. Okay. Okay. So this blog is out of date. At least that's what it looks like. Because it's 2013. Okay, so things have changed. Okay. So I'm glad that we figured that out. Let's check our dashboard. At least we're online with some of these people. Nobody's watching, it looks like, but okay. Alright. Probably should read this marketing manual for streams, but whatever. Alright, so we've done this. Now let's figure out where we're going to use it. I don't think we're doing it in server. I think we're going to use it in app. Maybe. Actually, we should probably put it in here. I think. Okay, so let's commit our git ignore. Ignoring secret file. Secrets file. Okay, great. Done that. Okay, so app. What has changed? Literally nothing. Okay. Config is untracked because we're not using it yet. And we're going to say to this requiring .env config. Great. Okay. With that committed, let's see here. I don't know if there's any config. I think we need to go back to... I think we need to go back to our previous thing here. Okay, connecting to MongoDB. All right. So I think this goes in API. I think. Okay. So I think this is where I think in the question of making my application be what it ought to be. Okay. Let me see if I can explain this a bit better. So it looks like structuring your application, there's definitely patterns for it, but it's not like there's one set pattern for structuring your application. I think so, and I also kind of think that we're still on the install MongoDB. Okay. So I think it's really a question of like, where do you put this? So let's go to my projects and kind of go to my learning. And we'll use this latest one. And we will look at what this looks like. Okay, so let's look at, so it looks like we've got config, server, and models. So we're going to open with Sublime should be an option. So we're going to open a folder, and then what we're going to do here is we'll open that and kind of explore a little bit and see what we're doing. Okay, So that's the folder. This is the server. And this looks to be that. Config is your database. And then this is, it looks like all of this goes in models for this one. Okay, so let's open up another one. And I'm thinking that this should go in models. Blog, Mongoose API. And I don't know if we have anything. It's fascinating. I guess I don't have anything. Okay. I don't know what that one is. Again, this is what happens when you learn. You don't actually necessarily know what you're learning. Okay. So let's do this one. Okay, it looks like we've got models, config, and server. And so the way they have it structured is they have all the database stuff in models, including the database connection. And then yeah. Okay, so that looks like all the models, and then I guess they just chuck it into server. Yeah. Okay. I guess because they're trying to make it like really super simple, that's why they do that particular kind of thing. Okay, then that makes sense. So like, I think that in terms of structuring, it sounds like I just can structure it however I want. I don't actually know if I need this config as yet. So I'm going to delete this config until I figure out why I need it. Okay, and then so it looks like app. I can put it in app. I don't know if it necessarily should go in app, but I can definitely put it in app. I can put it in models. I can put it in client. But I'll tell you where I think it should go. I think it should go in API. Which says to me, let's go to server. Because they put this in there. And I'm not sure if it actually needs to be out there. So let's do that. Yeah. Okay. I definitely think that this is going to be in API. Okay. So let's do that. Let's cut this. Let's put it in API. And we'll put it up at the top. Below our fake database, because our fake database is eventually going to go away. Okay. And then, so let's do this here. And then follow this express tutorial. Okay. And so let's do mongoose dot connect, and then we're gonna say we're going to grab it from our dot environment. And I don't know what, I kind of wonder whether or not I need to be... I kind of wonder whether or not I need to export this. But we'll leave it be for now, and then hopefully it breaks and we can figure out why. Client.js, git ignore. API, yeah. Okay, and then we'll say this. And then we'll put that. ESLint is not happy, which is not feeling very good to me. Okay, so we'll say const and then we'll say db equals mongoose dot connection. And then I actually really like this code. I wish I could, like, wonder if it gives, like, an error message or something. I think we're gonna have to, like, look at that. Okay, so let's say... Let's import this. Equals require, and then okay, I don't know if I actually need this. So I'm going to comment and say, do I need this? And then from here, let's use their example code. Okay, db.on, and then error, and then we're going to say console.error.find, which I don't entirely understand what that does. And we're going to say console. Okay. Hopefully that console does something. And then we're going to say MongoDB connection error. And let's go here. And we're going to say, I don't know why there was a colon here. Okay. And then we're going to semicolon. Sweet. Okay. Unexpected console statement. Okay. ESLint hates that. Which, you know, understandable. Okay. So. All right. Perfect. I like it. And then we can figure out this stuff here. And we can figure out if that's what we should do or should not do. Okay. So, and then let's comment out and say, is there a way to do this without a console statement? without a console statement. And then that looks good. And then eventually I'm sure that we'll use this. Okay. Great. All right, let's commit this. Mongoose adding initial mongoose database code. Okay, so let's see what has changed about app in this. No. Okay. Relocated mongoose code to API. And then there we go. Though, I mean, maybe I need this eventually, but I don't know. Okay. Great. Next. I mean, I don't actually... I think I just need mongoose in here. Okay, so in other words, I don't need a locally hosted mongoose. I don't need a locally hosted thing. All I need is the username and password, and then I'm good to go. Awesome. Okay, I think we've done this. Okay, so I'm gonna say, assuming that mongoose is what I'm supposed to be using. Okay, we're gonna comment that out and move on to the next. Next. Okay, so it sounds like I need to create models. So, and on here, defining and creating models. Okay, models are defined using the schema interface. Schema allows you to define the fields stored in each document along with their validation requirements and default values. Blah, blah, blah. Maps to a collection of documents, blah, blah, blah. Okay. So, let's see. I have models just waiting to go. So let's do const mongoose equals require mongoose. Okay. Wow. Okay. Great. And then let's create a schema. It equals mongoose dot schema. Great. And then all right. So now let's figure out how we want to store our data. Okay, so I should probably take a break. And then we can kind of talk about this. I'm gonna save this, and then I will be back in a few minutes. And I'm really. Have you not been able to see me this whole time? Uh, if you haven't been able to see me, I'm really sorry. Let me try to create a new scene real quick. There we go. That was really weird. Alright, well, I'll check the recording. Alright, let's pause. Okay, and I'm back. Great. So, let's see here. One thing we're going to do is I'm going to put the secret stuff tab on, and I'm going to get my database and password information and put it in the .env file. So hopefully I've got that taken care of. And we can get that sorted. All right. Excuse me. Okay, and then we can continue on with our model creation. And I'll probably just have to kind of vaguely wing it in figuring out what that looks like for me. And yeah, I don't think it's going to be too much of a problem, but it's going to be kind of a deal. Okay. Okay, well, it'll just have to be its thing. Okay. Well, hopefully that password works for what I need it to work. Okay. Secret stuff done. The other thing I'm going to do while we're talking about this is I'm going to push it. And since I have a Windows machine and the SSH doesn't quite work as well as I would like, it requires a password every time, which I'm not complaining, mind you, but is annoying. Okay. And we're done pushing. Now we can go back to our stream. Yay! Except for, I didn't close this. I think I'm going to have to change my name and password then. Thankfully it has nothing in it right now, but still. Alright. I guess... and while I'm at it, I can change it to something that is a little bit more amenable to a .environment code thing, rather than something full of symbols. Which is kind of what I was a little bit more afraid of. Okay. So let's say test schema, or first schema. Let's say meal schema. Shall we? Equals new. We're going to new up a schema. And we're going to say here. Going to put that there. And then we're going to say name. Okay. Okay, we're going to say name. And then we're going to say string. And then we're going to say... And what? You don't like this? Oh, it's capital string. Okay. Right. Okay. And then we're going to say ingredients. And then we're going to say Okay, so, and it looks like this is the array. And my build failed. Which I'm not surprised about, given the fact that my dot environment didn't work. Okay, so we're going to say that. And we're going to say that. And then we're going to say ID. Mm. Mm. And I don't know whether I should include this ID. So let's just use that and do that. And they only, yeah, I think that this is perfectly fine. Like, I think this schema is going to be what it is. I mean, there's a lot of other stuff in here that I don't need yet. Because really, I'm just trying to add ingredients and add a name. How should I structure my application? Object ID. I definitely should probably include ID. So let's do the sum ID. And then we'll say schema types object. And then object ID. Okay. And then I actually really like that. I don't know if I want the updated yet. I don't. I think that that's like. I think it's important to like keep this really simple. Okay, so let's commit this and say first schema. All right, what is ESLint? Okay, so ESLint is like, let's do this. Let's do a const. Okay, there we go. And this is a assigned value but never used. Destructured schema. Okay, so let's check our code chip and see what failed. And then I may have you sit here and do secret stuff. Okay, let's take a look. Okay, what failed? Tell me. Oh, code chip. MTM test. Okay, so that's what failed. That's interesting. I kind of wonder whether or not I need to put... Okay, so let's go here. And let's comment this out. And from there, I can change my secret. I can change my MLab stuff. So, if you give me a few minutes, we're going to be doing secret things. I feel like I should have like some sort of chat thing going or something like that, but eventually we will make this happen. Okay. Okay. So let's make this happen. Okay, so I am changing up my user, and from here, what I am doing is I am excited to be kind of making this work. I'm excited to like be doing this. And hopefully we can kind of get this like, you know, together, right? We can kind of like make this a thing. Okay, so let's change this and change our username, and we will change our password, and do. And we'll get a new password for our database. And I don't know, I feel like I'm just babbling, right? I feel like I'm just like, oh my god, blah, blah, blah. But I think it's important, like proper security procedures is super important when talking about this stuff. I mean, it's like, it's important not to expose the random things that you have. You know what I mean? I'm just saying, it is incredibly and profoundly important. Okay, I think I've created my password. We are gonna put it in here, and then at the same time we're gonna replace it in our dot environment. And then I will not show you my dot environment. You will not see it. Moo hoo ha ha ha. Okay, great. Okay. All right, now let me copy my username, and then we will be done with our dot environment thing. Okay. And let's confirm that it looks like how it should. Great. Awesome. Okay. So, the one last thing I'm gonna do is, now that I have in my API, I think it's in my where did I put it? I think it's in my, it's not my models, it's got to be in my API. Yeah. Where the export. Okay. So commenting out export, commenting out import of secret address. And then we'll keep that, and then we will push, and hopefully we will have figured out the dot environment setup the way we should. And so that's the thing. It's like, do I even need this is kind of the operative thing. And if it doesn't build, then I may have to like figure out some way to like get the testing to ignore it. Or like some way maybe it needs to load the .creation file before it tests. Okay. And we're done. I don't see a .env file, and so let's continue. Okay. Great. And we will get a notification shortly whether or not that build failed or succeeded. All right, we created our first schema. Okay, so the biggest thing that I don't entirely understand is what am I doing with the schema? Like, schema's great. Yay, schema. But then what the hell am I doing with it? So, that is my next big question here. Let's go. Let's kill that. Let me go back here and make sure that mlab is closed. And that sounded like a code ship thing. So let's figure out whether or not we succeeded. And okay, no. Okay, secret DB address is not defined. Okay, it sounds like I have to run this .env before I do the test. Okay, well, so let's go to my scripts and see what happens. Let's go to project settings. Okay. Because it sounds as if I need... Oh! Guess what? Well, the other thing is that I don't actually know if this builds here. So let's run npm test and see what happens. Okay. It doesn't like it. Let's find out. I mean, I'm not exporting from my .env file. Okay. So let's see here. Let's go back to my API. Let's comment this back in. And then let's try this again. No. Okay. Alright. I'm going to have to troubleshoot this later. Because it doesn't quite look like what it should. Alright. Well, for now, let's kind of go from there. Let's see here. I mean, it definitely doesn't necessarily do what I think it's supposed to do. And I think I just need to configure the environment variable. Like, it gets it from the secrets, but I don't think that it imports it correctly or something. So, I don't know. Okay. Well, let's note down that I don't know if this is quite... So, I am having trouble with the .env setup a bit. I'm going to be attending Q&A. Great. Okay. And then we're going to say first schema created. And then set up jest. Okay. All right. Let's take a look at our thing. Environmental variable with code ship. Yep, that's the place where we want to be. And here is my Express tutorial. Okay. Okay. Okay, so this is what we need to do. We need to create model. Okay, let's do const meal model equals mongoose dot model, and then we're gonna say meal model, and then we're gonna say okay, and then we're gonna say meal schema, and then let's make sure we don't need to do anything else. And the answer is no. Okay, great. First meal model. And we're going to commit that. And then I don't know whether this is how we necessarily want to do ingredients, but I think it's going to be really good. Like I don't necessarily think we need to specify a ton. Virtual properties. Let's see here. And then okay. And then let's do a module.exports. And let's do meal model. And I did that wrong. Let's see here. I needed an equal. Okay. Okay. Great. All right. Exported first model. Awesome. That looks really great. Okay. I'm really excited. I feel like we did a lot of pretty good things here. So the next thing I need to do, okay, so let's look at this. I need to hit up a Q&A and get my .nv set up correct. I need to first exported model. That sounds great. I don't know if so let's ask, do you have any good resources on schema design? Okay. And the reason why I say resources on good schema design is this. I think that schema design is one of those things where, like, let me do this, and then you can kind of see. Okay, so if you look, we've got const schema here. And then we've got a name, ingredients, and some ID. I'm not sure if, we're going to eventually do users. We're going to eventually do these other things. So I'm not sure like how to structure this in a way that actually makes sense for the app. So that's kind of your big thing. So yeah, I mean, I definitely think it's like, oh my god, blah. All right, well, I'm gonna let you go for now, and so that I can like do some of this troubleshooting on this secret ENV, um, and I can hopefully plan some Q&A stuff. You can expect me to stream tomorrow, so I look forward to seeing you soon. And you can expect me streaming over the weekend. Thank you so much, and have a great day. Oh, and I'm Delia Codes, if you haven't caught it. Delia_codes on Twitter. Thank you.